Well, good afternoon, evening, everyone. It is 9:32 in the PM on December 9th. I figured that I do maybe a little bit of a quick show of my islands as I've gotten them done here. Mostly been playing around with the sandbox unit and pretty much been playing around more with Nublar as a hub because they keep adding new dinosaurs. I want to try and see if I can make a fairly cool park. Um, have all our Heterosauruses over here, so I've been having fun with those, and of course the wonderful lighting effects. And because I kind of have the dinosaur stats all turned, so their aggressive instincts are toned all the way down, so I can also play around with their population counts and everything else. I just have to worry really about food intake and stuff like that. No deaths, all that fun stuff. Just kind of make that nice little fun thing here. So I figured I'd show off. If you couldn't tell, this is Isla Nublar, and so far this is kind of like my ideal setup for the park. Now I've been watching Best in Slot a lot, and really love his videos. His content's actually pretty solid. So I'm kind of taking a stand from him and having a little dinosaur center over on the southern part of the island, kind of locked away where I can have and make all the dinosaurs that I need, and then just kind of set them up to be tranked and then cart off to all of the other areas of the island where I want them. As again, I've probably stated, I do have all of the aggression taken off. Excuse me, it's been a long day. I've kind of been getting stuff prepared back and forth. So yeah, I have a little ACU center here, which is where I stick everything, and we'll kind of go through a little bit of the island as what I have here so far. So we'll come in with the arrival point here, and what I really like to do sometimes, I just kind of like just to close the park, clear everyone out, and just see how fast everything kind of populates. Yeah, this is kind of our main drag. You come right off the monorail, a little bit of brush, everything else around there. And of course we have a couple of big hotels, because everyone just got the island, they want to put their stuff away, and they want to go exploring, so it kind of makes sense to put them there. I have a weird idea for how to set these places up, such as setting up more or less little shopping centers, and have the monorail system, which then kind of takes everyone around the rest of the island for dinosaur viewing and all that other fun. And of course, for the main strip, I do have some of the main buildings and offices, which just sets up the main drag, and it's pretty much the wonderful setup there to make that all nice and consistent. Although I probably could do a little bit of, while we're here, want to flatten, smooth some of this out just a little bit, because it does kind of look a little bit off, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I like everything kind of be nice, little smooth. I'm not as creative with some of the stuff as I've seen other people done, but I've tried to kind of be a little bit more creative in how I set up stuff. And so my other ideal for the park is kind of have different areas for different eras of dinosaurs, more or less. So we have, like, you start with like the late Triassic with a couple of those dinosaurs, and you start going on to some of the other, from the late Triassic to the early Jurassic, then the late Jurassic, and then you start going to all the Cretaceous stuff, which, of course, there's so much more Cretaceous stuff around, it kind of makes it a little bit problematic to get all that stuff set up here. So I kind of have some stuff out of order here right now, because everything is kind of turned upside down. So starting as you get off, we have the we have the Heterosaurus, and then the Pro Stratosaurus. Around here, then of course we have all of our Pachycephalosaurs just chilling more or less. On the other side, though, I wanted to set up all of our ornithomimids. Each have their little pen, because they're all very similar in body structure and animations. I feel it's a good little simple thing for the guests to come by and view and see the dinosaurs kind of walking around with these fences. And of course, since I have everything kind of their aggression turned way down, the fences are all this standard see-through electric one, which, excited for Return to Jurassic Park. I've been excited for that since it was announced, because that was really cool. Another little cool thing we have over here is I was kind of fighting for observation and notice. We have a couple of our notosaurs and kylosaurs here as well. They're kind of getting their own little space. Granted, they don't need that much in the terms of forest, but a little bit of wetland stuff is they're pretty docile as long as we keep their population pretty low for the most part. Of course, have a nice little viewing tower here, even though I don't think we kind of need it because it seems just a wee bit redundant almost. And of course, we have the monorail system here. And of course, if you start following part of this track here, we come to one of our other first big viewing galleries. So we have a whole bunch of other notosaurs kind of running around. We have Sauropelta, Notosaurus sitting over here. And of course, this area is pretty big, pretty expansive. And for viewing some of these other ones over here, we have, as you can tell, they'll just view them via the monorail system that's right there. Now, as we take the monorail system around, which will start heading, follow the track up and around, we will skip and come to the little stop for the engineering system down here, which is pretty much a nice little safe haven. This is kind of blocked off by foliage and some other stuff. Just keep them out of the loop, and then we follow it all the way down here to another set of hotels, which people will then get off and can again drop their stuff off, and then they'll start hitting some of the other cool exhibits we have here. And of course, being a paleontologist as I am, and with my schooling, I kind of have everyone grouped into dinosaur groups. So I have a bunch of ornithomimids and a bunch of the ornithischians all kind of grouped together. All the stegosaurids, luckily, all kind of sit together with their populations just at the cap. But there's also a big enough area that it gives them plenty of room to go around. And of course, added in extra feeders to make sure everyone gets food, and not kind of going around this nice little slight bluff I built in here for it. Opposite them is, of course, we have all of our ceratopsians, and of course, with some of these I went through and did the most minimal social, but also played around with genetics for some of their population, because the chimerosaurs are pains in the butt. So are the pentaceratops. Like, these guys are, if you don't modify them at all, they are picky as hell. So chimerosaurs, or chasmosaurs, are super picky with social and population, and it gets to be a little bit of a pain. But I kind of like, I like this light fence because it gives everyone. I think this should count that if there's nothing heavy or thick blocking this, you should be able to see all the dinosaurs, because I think that's one thing they should do, and it's kind of why I like the other games here. So this viewing gallery we'll get to in a bit, but the last of our ornithischians that we have are all of our hadrosaurs. And of course, we have dozens of them, and there's so many of them. And just look at that, all nice up in front, all nice up and close. Feeder position right there. All wonderful, little curious. Oh, it's fun. And I did try to get as many of the different skins for all of them, especially with Oronosaurus, which has a kind of just straight up green. Myosauras, Corythosaurus, Iguanodons. I think I need to get Mutaborosaurus in here. I think I did at some point, and I think it may have. They may have upped and had to move them, because I had a problem with some of them having population problems. I think I still have enough. I can probably get some of them in, because at least for the hadrosaurs, they are not very picky as far as their stuff there. So, all right. So the next thing we have up here is, if you follow the tram, we go further north. At least I think it's north. I'm saying it's north. Again, another wonderful little area of hotel, food chain, restaurants, and such. Another viewing tower for the ceratopsians and all their glory over here. Yes, quite nice. A nice little tree for them to lounge under. Because I do kind of like some of these bigger trees and other decorations they put in. I think that does add a lot of fun to the build up there. We have a couple, as you can see, this big section here is kind of what I consider like our middle area. Oh, there's where I put my Minotaurus, because I think I was having population problems with them. So here we have our big enclosure. And for some reason, the best thing about Jurassic Park that has always been, I think in my opinion, was like the scenes where you have like just the giant Brachiosaurus. And I hated the one in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, because that was just, that movie was terrible. But when you have all of these giant herbivores and you get them nice in the sunlight and they are just gorgeous, you know, just those slow, majestic beasts. And of course, we do have quite a few of them kind of just settled over here. And we have the Muttaburrasaurus in here with them as well, just trying to help break up their diversity. And of course, in here we have the Jurassic tours that get to go through this area, which I thought would be the better, safer area to put a lot of them in. And of course, we still have quite a bit of area to finish building. I haven't done a lot of building here lately because, unfortunately, Jurassic World is a massive, massive time sink. I love it to death, but I will burn time. I will lose time when I'm playing this. And it is one of the most frustrating things is when I look at my phone. Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. I should probably get supper soon. I look at it again. It's 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning, and I haven't eaten yet. So, you know, kind of have to balance your workload schedule, and I kind of get involved really, really in this really badly. To kind of go on with our wonderful Saurischeans, here's where we have the Carnotaurus. I have a couple of Carnotaurs, and they're usually kept pretty good. And also with the Carnotaurs, I have a pack of Troodons. And these guys, of course, you can have the large predators with the small predators. They don't really bother each other too much, and I think that kind of makes for a nice little dynamic there. So we have... Oh, they're coming out to join him. That's fine. I think the others are kind of just, one more nested there. So this area kind of is blocked off and helps separate between the two. Go a little bit higher because you can kind of tell we're kind of hitting that mid to late Cretaceous area here. So again, at every single travel point, I've got monorail station, I have a hotel, I have the systems and setting in the world restaurants and the other foodstuffs just to try and help balance it out. And of course we have here, first off with our Suchomimus, a couple Suchos I've built. Put in a lot of marshland because I also have Baryonyx over here as a bit of a addition for the Spinosaurid areas. To try and keep them interested, or at least at least have them behave. And of course, we have over here, which has been a little bit of a pain to get built properly, are Velociraptor pens. And of course, the Velociraptors always super picky. Like this area right here is such a pain in the butt because there's a nice little fence right there that I had to get put in here. But because the Raptors were so picky, I had to fight because I also started putting in, as you can see here, Deinonychus with our Albertosaurus or our Acrocanthosaurus. So again, another early Cretaceous carnivores, especially with the Deinonychus as they are. And as we get over here to our nice little site here, we have our Dilophosaurs, which I kind of, again, they're late. I know they're late Jurassic, at least, but at the same time, they are pretty much still, for the most part, Saurischeans. I kind of put them together. I think I just had one. I think I'm going to probably put my Allosaur in here because having to double up on them has been kind of a pain. Let's see where we got population. Good, social sex. So let's get you tranked.
Task received.
Because I know there's a spot I want to put him. So, again, so we have Dilophosaurs, and we have all these other raptors, all these other dinosaurs. All this. Now, I still have yet to kind of go through here and format this area a little bit because, again, another monorail station comes straight off, nice and straight, although some of my landing pads are a bit off. I didn't have enough room to put in another viewing tower there, which is kind of disappointing. I did kind of want to have a nice, big, wide area for dinosaurs to go through. As you can see here is where we have our Spinosaurs on the other side of that other Spinosaur. So kind of that was the plan. So I kind of have this area in here. I was going to do some other towers, some other viewing areas, trying to figure out where I'm going to put everything because I think it'd be nice to have a little bit more here. So as it is, this is pretty much my Nublar Island, the sandbox before the sandbox, so to speak, because, well, let's face it, because the sandbox for Nublar was huge, but it wasn't massive, which was kind of a disappointment, but at the same time, I think it was rather nice to have. Because then at least we do have the options here. So we have quite a lot of dinosaurs. And of course, all of our more dangerous dinosaurs are located at the north part of our park and island. But that's alright. So I have all these other areas I need to try and play around with. I'm going to try and maybe put another expansion up here and try and fill this out with viewing towers and other stuff to try and make it a little bit more easier to be accessed, because I kind of almost built myself into a corner over here. So if I could find a way to stretch that out a little bit, maybe build some other enclosures left and right here so that way we can get better viewing areas, and maybe kind of pull in a lot of these areas here, might be a good idea to get some of that stretched out. But yeah, no, I just love watching the Brachiosaurs come out. They're going to be great. I'm going to be so excited tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow it's coming out, and I'll be so happy. And we're going to here. Yep, there's our Allosaurus going that way. So, let's go ahead and save this one. Because this is, oh god, it's still my first stream too, jeez. And I want to show off kind of how I built the other islands, because I kind of built them all around a theme of time period. So, and dinosaurs live during certain time periods, kind of get top billing there, which I think is actually, a fair option there. So let's hit for just for fun's sake, let's hit Manticeros first, because that's where I have a bit of other stuff here. So let's go to Manticeros, and we'll go ahead and we'll show off what I have as far as that stuff here. Because, like I said, my idea is if you have 5 islands full of dinosaurs, you don't pack them all into one island. You spread them out, and you kind of make that part of your attraction for it. So part of what I've done with these is after everything's unlocked, I got all the other dinosaurs and doing whatever I need to do to get them all done. Going through and saying, I was like, okay, what belongs in what time period and what should go where? The only problem I have with is Ace Lapina, because that one, with as thin as it is, as long as it is, very few areas actually build stuff. I run into problems keeping everything kind of alive there. So that involved a lot of playing around with that. So the next thing that we're going to show off here is Manticeros. So I rebuilt everything. Everything got built, everything got changed. So of course, but everyone comes in here. We have, of course, monorails going around the entire island. Science centers, because again, we're having science discussions about every island. And of course, I do like the innovation center. It kind of has that nice little feel to it. Okay, the main ones that we need, of course, the rest of clothes shop, restaurant, and arcade, which are all we need for that. Of course, our wonderful large substations, or a few Hammond Creation Labs. Got a couple of them sitting around here. So our first area is for our Herrerasaurus, which is the late Triassic carnivore. We do have some other ones here, because then we, of course, that's the only really late Triassic carnivore we have. Prostratosaurus, Dilophosaurus are all early Jurassic. So, of course, next stop we have is, and at the other end of here we also have another kind of viewing gallery, just to kind of give a little bit more viewing diversity to the dinosaurs here. Because, of course, Manticeros has that nice huge mound in the middle, so it's kind of hard to get around that, so to speak. So kind of have to play around that. And I'll show you a little bit of fun stuff I did with the island here. We did get Nigersaurus involved in here, so I do have him with our... Is he a ground feeder? They may be ground feeders. I thought they were tree feeders, so I may have just kind of screwed myself over here. So let's get these guys some more grub. That's live bait feeder. And of course we have all of our Dilophosauruses coming around here. An entire pack of them. Almost maxed out to their social, which I think is like 12. But yeah, I have all of them running around here with an early Jurassic sauropod. Of course, we have all this other stuff here. We have, of course, the most popular attraction. In this area up here, this wide area with multiple viewing galleries, we have our Prostratosaurus. And they are probably some of the most interesting ones, because they also have a really high social. but I also gave them a lot of ground, a lot of room to move around in, a lot of running room, a little science center over there to explaining what they are, viewing galleries, and of course the creation lab. And of course in the middle here we have all these wonderful hotels and a couple of extra. If I had enough, I'd probably like to try and just build a path going through here, but the way I currently have it built is a little bit awkward, but still pretty fun here. Of course, a monorail system goes around. There's no monorail station for this stop, because the primary stop for getting anywhere is going to be up here, and then it just kind of loops around the island as a whole. Procerosaurus, and of course, we go down here where I made a little valley, little incline, and we have Hungosaurus, and I think that's all my... Oh, and Dryosaur. So a lot of other Jurassic, early to late Jurassic dinosaurs in here, because I wanted to make sure that they all get kind of put in where they need to be. Hungosaurus. Is that all of them? No, they do have a very high population. So yeah, that's all kind of a nice little cluster there. And that's all my dinosaurs really for here, but you know, they're all kind of in a
if you can handle all the chaos of the facilities and
don't
the
care,
dinosaurs, then really, how tough could completing this new contract be for a person of your talents?
So we have all of these here, all these nice little cool things, all dinosaurs there. Now, kind of what I did here, what I wanted to do was like have a nice little uptown center for all of my operations, pretty much the fossil center, my power plants, everything kind of out of the public eye, but still more or less had to get access to it. So I put another monorail station in up here, curved it around everything, got everything kind of sitting up here, ACU's up here, my ranger stations are all down here. Again, easy access for everything. I feel like that's a pretty good, pretty solid layout. Let's go ahead and check the next one, which is, whoops, wrong button. Next one is going to be Isla Morta. Now, I'm not dealing with the Doctor Who one when I'm building these enclosures as per time period. So this one's really going to be our very specific late Jurassic era, which again has some, playing around with all the standards that we have there for the dinosaurs and whatnot. So just kind of giving that shot for how that looks more than anything, because I think, again, that's pretty much what I think it should be here. And I pretty much enjoy it, and I think it's a really good little build up there. If I'm getting messages, I'm not seeing them. Sorry, guys. So we'll go ahead and head up all to our main stuff here. So of course they come in off the monorail, and of course just like the other one, but in this one I have all my operations here pretty much: Fossil Center, Research Center, Expedition Center, ACU Center, all of that. Emergency storm shelter, because Isla Morta still has all those bad storms that hit it periodically here. Now I don't have a looping monorail system, but I do have one where it'll go down to the first big expansion, which is basically our biggest exhibit. We have all the fun little centers, put in a little greenhouse. I don't use it. Can I go? Oh wait. I don't use the greenhouse pretty much. I mean, it's kind of neat for a little bit more of a challenge mode, but I'm not really that thrilled by it. And we have a couple of our other watching stations, and we have our Jurassic tour here, which is probably the coolest thing, because here we have our sauropod enclosure. And there's nothing cooler, and I thought this would be pretty cool, is to have the dinosaurs sitting over here by the seaside as the sun sets and comes up, which I thought would just be a really cool little aesthetic. But yeah, all of our sauropods are here. All the late Jurassic sauropods are here, pretty much kind of clustered together. I got as many skin variations as I could to make them stand out. That's all the fun part there. Of course, we have another fun little science center here, some other stuff, some other little areas. Not quite as much attention, just because of the way everything's kind of sitting, and that's kind of fallen that point. We'll put another watch center here to kind of see the dinosaurs, but still not as impressive apparently for the guests. Storm center, everything else I need for basically everything going to hell and getting it fixed. So here we have the rest of our Stegosaurus, Kentrosaurus, Stegosaurus, all of them. Kachungasaurus. I'm probably pronouncing it terribly. So we have all of this stuff, all of our dinosaurs, or at least most of our Jurassic Stegosaurs are here for the most part, or at least for our early to mid as well. A little bit of our late stuff here as well. We go up here and we start getting some of our other stuff. So we have a Metrocanthosaurus, got a pair of them there. Monorail sets up. I goofed up when I was deleting monorails, so I kept the floating monorail piece here as just because it was a neat little physics break. And it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too much of a break there. And of course, here we have our Ceratosauri. Just 3 of them kind of getting. It's kind of the most lightly populated island out of all of them here. But, you know, it does get a fair amount of attention because, let's face it, the carnivores get all the bloody attention. So, that's Isla Muerta. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Let's head next to Isla Tucano, which is my favorite island because of I just like the way that the area looks for when you're building stuff. It is pretty awesome. I really like it. So yes, I am excited for tomorrow. So yeah, this is pretty much just me testing my streaming equipment because it's been a while since I've streamed. Twitch, it's not impossible for me to get my Twitch to even get to the point where I can actually try and authenticate it because I probably stream it there, then move everything over to YouTube. But I will probably just do a whole bunch of streaming for this one for tomorrow, which will be great. Now, I really love Tucano's early setup. The early setup was downright amazing. I thought it was like one of its strongest features, which was a nice little off-ramp coming down into the park, and then running down this chain of just restaurants and everything else here, and it was so very nice and simple. I had the Innovation Center pretty much smack dab right there, right in the center, which is great. Of course, the only way to start winning at this was to start destroying everything else and then going from there, and that was always kind of a pain, more or less. So of course with this, I do have a couple of, I think I just have one, a single on-ramp for the monorail system and just a single line down and back. Not the most efficient, but it does the job for what I want here. So up here at the top, we have our more Metrocanthosaurs to help kind of round out our carnivore metrics. Of course, we have all of our wonderful restaurants, another ranger area, because it's just easier to have the ranger area up here than wait for it to drive from halfway across the island, which I think is the one thing that I did right during this entire island build. So we head down this way, we have the rest of our Stegosaurs. Stegosaurus, more Kentrosaurs, Kachungasaurus, like another Stegosaur enclosure, pretty much. It's nice, big, a little bit of rocky, some nice deep water, plenty of foliage. And multiple hotels streaming the way. And now here's where we get to the really fun part. So here we have more of our late Cretaceous, or late Jurassic, dinosaurs. We have our Morrison Formation dinosaurs. We have Ceratosaurus, several of them. And I went and messed with the genes to get 4 Allosaurs together. Of course, since my thesis work was an Allosaurus, I'm a little bit partial to them. But yeah, no, I had to kind of split them up, get them to work together, and kind of had to build another extra gate here because the Rangers from down on the opposite end may not make it down here lickety-split. So, but no, I love this island buildup. I love the way this island is built. So our monorail empties out up here, kind of empty out and walk around down to the hotel, down to your drinks, your bars, your foods, everything. Then as we get down here, it empties out, and then here's where obviously the fans love our biggest attractions, which is the Jurassic Tour, which is a nice little gyro station right here, which is really cool. A couple of viewing areas, a couple of the big tall ones, a couple of the big short ones for holding more people. And of course, all of our sauropods, all of them, pretty much every Jurassic sauropod's in this enclosure and spread out, and it is just again, it is just kind of gorgeous. I kind of like just that look of them as you go through it. So I think it's fairly cool. I really like it. Now we're going to go to Isla Pena and hope nothing breaks. Knowing my luck, everything will break. And Isla Pena I kind of like. Just I like these oddball shaped islands, and it kind of does make it a challenge to try and get everything working, especially when you have the storms coming through when it's all at night, so it's hard to see things. Colors kind of blend together. It was actually a pretty fun island to get done and get completed, but at the same time, it's also one of the ones I think is really frustrating because I think they upped the difficulty level a little bit too high, too fast. It's really funny because when you clear out, because I cleared out everything on these islands, I got rid of all the dinosaurs, got rid of all the structures, rebuilt everything pretty much from scratch, and we're going to start at the south end of the island and kind of work our way up. But no, let's go to where the entranceway comes in. I'll show you a little bit better what I've got here. But no, this is dinosaur visibility high, almost a minute. So Isla Pena comes out, which is really where they actually made this part of the enclosure. I don't get it. So part of the thing you'll notice, I do have part of the fences shaved off, but that kind of stops them because I've also noticed the dinosaurs don't go past that in certain points if they're big enough. So we've got, got more. This is kind of my early Cretaceous area, and this course has a lot of dinosaurs in it, which makes it really fun and kind of really frustrating here too. So we got our Sauropeltas here, and they kind of have this long stretch here for the most part. There's another gate here. I have our other Nodosaurs here, Polycanthus. Also kind of just chilling and relaxing here, and of course, so that's this is built a little bit haphazardly to stop them. That gate's there just so our ranger team can get through there without completely getting messed up here. And I like using the monorail systems because I think they're actually really fun. Of course, building these next few enclosures were really the challenging part because of how I had to build them. Of course, we have our Baryonyx, early Cretaceous Spinosaurid. Our Deinonychus group should be in here. There he is. There's our Deinonychus crew. They're up chilling by the water. Of course, it makes it challenging because the way that these things are, the way the viewing galleries are built, they really have such a really wide range. It's really hard to get a good view. Our viewing gallery lets us see our Spinosaurus, which are up here, which are also kind of which is our more late Cretaceous, early to late Cretaceous. Actually, no, Spinosaurus are early Cretaceous dinosaurs, so they kind of get to chill out here in the little area here. And since we're doing a lot of early Cretaceous stuff, actually there's this little side area over here where we have some viewing galleries and some other stuff. And here's where we have some of our other Spinosaurids, the Suchomimus. Oh, great, you guys are going to be bitching about wetlands, aren't you? Okay, There, don't be so bitchy. There we go. Because I had my two Ankylosaurs here and my Suchomimus up here elsewhere, but they kept breaking out, so I just kind of decided, you know what, screw it, we're just going to make this here then, and just kind of go from there. Our other spots here is our Mutaborosaurus and our Iguanodons have this kind of nice little big wide enclosure that the monorail goes over, giving people a nice good view of them, with a couple of our viewing towers here. And of course, our main base of operations is down here at the very, very end of the road. And because I do like the idea of seeing like the area without fences, at least on areas that are naturally occurring environmental barriers, that's actually a really cool idea I got from Best in Slot, because he was pointing out some stuff that you could do with it, and because these guys' size, they can't go through this little tiny space over here that would probably let them go munch on all the people. So it's actually really kind of nice. And Acrocanthosaurs, and then here we have, well, these are the Acrocanthosaurs, these are our Carcharodontosaurs. And these guys kind of round out the last of it. And again, that's actually just a nice little cool thing. You're seeing that open ocean as they get to just kind of chill a little bit. And actually, I'm curious here. I don't incubate anything. Okay, do have Albertosaurus. I should have Albertosaurus in with my other stuff here, I think. Okay, so, and unfortunately I didn't have really anything that will fit in this area here without being really too kind of cramped in, so I really didn't get a chance to do anything with that On a second playthrough, if I do go ahead and just clear everything out and restart, I may do something with that there, but at this point I think I've done plenty to make my life miserable. Alright, and the last one we'll go see is going to be Isla Sorna. Now, Isla Sorna I really love just about how big and expansive it is, and I kind of just like kind of going around and just kind of playing around in the area a little bit. So I kind of like the way that's all set up there. As such, it's going to be kind of interesting to get all that rest of that kind of readied for everything else, especially for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be fun because I'm probably going to be playing that game for a good portion of the morning. The moment it goes live, I am going to be up, I'm going to be rolling, and we're going to be good because I'm excited. I want to play through that. Of course, when this came out, first of all, originally I went through and played everything, which was always fun. Again, Isla Sorna is a nice way because I like how they give you different options about how to go through and build some of the different islands towards the end of the game, effectively, which I think is some aspects of it I kind of tied into everything. Because when I first played through, I just wanted to complete everything, build everything, and kind of just build everything from there. And the funny thing is, when you kill everything and you destroy everything, what happens is, without roads or anything anything for the people to go into, they will just start walking to the end of to the actual park entrance to leave, and it's actually really hilarious just to watch this kind of like just long death march. So again, people come in the base of operations, coming in straight through here. They go through a base of operations pretty much, which I probably should have cordoned this off a little bit. But at the same time, there really wasn't much to go from there here. So our first actual enclosure is our Dreadnoughtus over here, which is kind of good here. Okay, yeah, dinosaurs are good. Profits over 1.5 million. It's good. And of course, over here we have our Giganotosaurs. Both these dinosaurs are from South America, so it's actually kind of nice. I think it's nice to have them kind of in their same nice little enclosures there. And of course, you take the monorail. As with all my monorails, we abuse the monorail system and go down to one of the areas I really actually like a little bit here. So, in one section over here, we have all of our Pachycephalosaurs. So, Sticky Moloch, Dracorex, Pachycephalosaurus, all of them in this little group enclosure here. Off to the side, we have our smaller group of Nodosaurs and Kylosaurs, Crichtonsaurs, all of that for this little area here, just because, well, they need a little bit of attention. Another little base of operations, Ranger Station ACLU. And it's nice to it's easier to kind of break up the island into 3 sections that you can have certain teams monitor and cover. And that really, really makes it so much easier for especially late game. Mainly, so I have 2 Tyrannosaurs here. I have Coco and I have Vanilla, because I like those skin tones. Now, I did modify their genes to get more than 1 in here, so we have 2 Tyrannosaurs, and of course, running around with them, we have a bunch of Troodons. And of course, they're all mostly from the Hell Creek Formation, so I kind of wanted to kind of clump them together there a little bit. Then we have 2 areas. This other area over here was one big, huge area. I had a bunch of like Stegosaurs and other stuff in when we first did the game the first time, but now I kind of split it up into 2 sections with Hadrosaurs and Ceratopsians. Of course, the Ceratopsians are super territorial and super temperamental. Pain in my butt. While looking at that, where is our dead dinosaur? So our dead dinosaur is actually about where we're going to be heading here.
Asset to be collected.
So, we have the monorail, kind of goes up around the system up here, up around the enclosure. Comes down here. We have emergency shelter, of course, because the storms are really frequent on this island. Power stations, also there's stuff to kind of help conserve power, because this is a very power-hungry island. And our little hotel. Now, the cool thing about that, I use the hotel's viewing options here, because we have a little viewing tower here. But what we have are a whole bunch of our Ornitholestes dinosaurs, all of our Ornithomimids, because they're all very similar, very simple to keep happy, very simple to keep together. They have a very high population, very high social. You can make dozens of them, and you're good to go pretty much. And of course, with that, we kind of help cordon off this area, hit it thick with brush. Now we go to our other little fun area, which is like mostly rest of our carnivores, more or less. We got the Velociraptor Raptor pack, so I have all of our raptors with the different color schemes from Jurassic World. Again, terrible movie, but I'll live. Kind of wanted to play around this area where we have a nice little outgoing curve. When I had this area the first time, this is all one big enclosure with a bunch of herbivores and such, and just kind of played around with that. So we have all of our little fun arcades, clo shops, all of that. Hotels scattered here and there to help with our park attendance. In here we have our Carnotaurus, again another late Cretaceous specialized Saurischian theropod. Over here we have our Mojonosaurus, which is also another specialized dinosaur, Moroccan, if I believe so. I'm thinking Monolophosaurus, so maybe not Moroccan. I don't think I have Albertosaurus in here. That's actually kind of that's actually kind of sad. I was supposed to have every dinosaur in here, but yeah, it's kind of hard to get a lot of them in here. I will try and make a Albertosaurus to get them added in here because I don't have one. I don't think. Albertosaurus, give me your stats. I have to make the dinosaur. God damn it! I have another dead dinosaur. All of my. We'll do a rainforest pattern on you. Yeah, unfortunately, all of our ornitholistes, all of them, were one of the first ones I created to help kind of round out the park. So I imagine a lot of them are just up and dying.
Acknowledging asset collection request.
Because they're all dying by old age, which makes me really sad. Yeah, died of old age, died of old age. But yeah, no, in this particular area, like, I had to modify our Chasmosaurus. Our Pentaceratops likes breaking out a lot. Had to modify them for the higher population so I can kind of get them all grouped together so they can actually stand each other, just to have all my Ceratopsians in one spot. I'll try and put an Albertosaurus with our Velociraptors because our Hell Creek Formation guys actually kind of get along pretty well. And we'll see if our Albertosaurus does the same. And of course, with both the Hadrosaurs and Ceratopsians, put in a little gyro station ball to go in there, which is also kind of fun. Right. I wanted to drive. What was I? Was I crazy? I was dead crazy. There we go. Low health. Alright, who died again? Oh, you didn't. Oh. Coco died of old age. That is really kind of traumatic, because now we're going to start having problems.
Heading to collect the asset.
Because I need to have a second one in here. Have another dead dinosaur? Oh, they're coming to pick up that one. Impromptu gameplay, guys! Impromptu gameplay. Go figure. Alright, so let's get... I need to get another Tyrannosaurus going, otherwise that one T-Rex there is going to be a pain in the butt. Oh, lucky me, the set pattern is the one, the chocolate one. So hopefully we'll kind of keep an eye on our T-Rex on Vanilla here, see if Vanilla somewhat stays calm, because otherwise she's going to want to bust out here soon. So I'm kind of hoping I can get my other T-Rex in here soon enough to keep her happy. How old are you here? Appetite, metabolism. Lifespan. Oh, she's almost at the end. She's almost at the end for her too. That's rough. But I almost imagine she's going to break loose, and we might see some good old-fashioned Jurassic World carnage. And of course, the poor people don't know what's going to happen to them here. Well, I've had more breakouts from my freaking T-Rex than you'd want to believe. Because let's face it, that T-Rex does not like to stay in their place for very long. Oh yeah, no, they're dipping. Sometimes if the areas are too big, I've noticed that the dinosaurs don't recognize that part of their people are there, so they start getting lonely and they start losing. That's I end up having two different breakouts from the same animal, which is really, really frustrating. Did have a little area over here for the velociraptors, but I kind of got rid of that because it didn't look very good. So then we went ahead with this. And I kind of want to go through here and maybe just kind of open all the gates and let all the dinosaurs out and then see what kind of pandemonium I've got. Because let's face it, I've got, well, mostly everything kind of here. And I've got, so again, you can see the near $500 million I have as far as what I have for, what I've made on the island so far. Because let's face it, dinosaurs make cash. Secure. Part of it is I still love these games. I mean, the game is still fun. It's a massive time sink, though. Like, it is... are we going to have a breakout? I have a breakout here. Kind of expecting a breakout. Although I am almost tempted to see if she'll die soon because she's almost at her max age. Alright, Albertosaurus is almost done. I don't think I don't know. When did they add Albertosaurus? I can't remember. I'm surprised I don't have it in any of my parks. Come on, start attacking the fence. Attack the fence somewhere. Let the Troodons out. And clip through the wall. That's not scary at all. Man, those textures. Yep, still making $1.5 million a minute. Alright, let's release our Albertosaurus and let's see if I can get him put in with the raptors. Look at them eye ridges. Man, that coloring is weird.
An Albertosaurus has just been successfully incubated. That's great work on your part. And for now, let's hope it isn't too hungry.
I'm going to try and get it somewhere where it can eat some stuff, and hopefully not everyone else. So we're waiting on that. Uh-oh, where'd she go? Where'd she go? Ah, someone's attacking the fence. There she is. Why are you running into the pen? I swear, you stupid AI don't know shit. Alright, who died?
Asset requiring collection.
Alright, let's go watch the horror. Danger of the guests, and so are the Troodons. Alright, let's get a ranger team to go fix that fence, though.
Crew responding to repair request.
Señoras y señores, como medida de precaución y por su seguridad, diríjanse al refugio más cercano.
Ah, food to go. Alright, we got a bunch of dinosaurs on the loose, and I don't have enough trays to get them all. So first thing,
Picking up asset.
I'm going to wait a little bit for them to start carrying that Albertosaurus, because if I release the T-Rex, it's going to get chomped. It's going to get chomped fast.
Asset transportation in progress.
That's pretty much just what we got to wait on. Alright. Alright, on to bet. Yep, another
En
Gallimimus.
route to collect the asset.
Wait, who died? Oh, Troodon died. Yeah, my Troodons are,
Collecting asset.
Alright, where's our T-Rex?
Asset has been delivered.
Our T-Rex is still going for food. Alright, so now... Oh god, power outage, really? Your timing is terrible. At least the good thing is I have plenty of overlay with everything.
Request acknowledged.
Alright, let's go start tranking some dinos.
No problem. Confirmed.
I'm surprised... Oh wait, no, there's
Setting additional task.
a Troodon. You know, I really didn't care for the way they gave them poison, a poison bite in the... Let's say it's a Tall Tales game. Most because I think that, you know, keep adding those traits to dinosaurs, especially meteor, that's as, you know, ridiculously possible and popular as Jurassic Park, makes it really hard to tell fact from fiction when so people start thinking that that's this. I had the same thing when I was talking with I was on the podcast with Greg Noman on Greg Noman's podcast, Prehistoric Times, and Ben is like they kept bringing up a bunch of, you know, fake dinosaurs. I'm like, well, there's a problem with this because at a certain point the public doesn't care. And they want to think that all of these dinosaurs have these traits when a lot of them are just embellished. That's why a lot of people think, you know, Dilophosaurus, the twin-crested dinosaur from Jurassic Park, had that double crest and that neck frill when there's no evidence that it does. Or even if it spits. I'm not going to deny that there are some features of dinosaurs that we don't quite know because of just the way the dinosaurs are and the way the fossil record works. But at the same time, I'm not going around and say that, oh, they definitely had this, or they definitely had that. We don't know. That's just the thing. It's kind of hard to tell with what we do and do not know. And so that's what makes it really kind of problematic for the most part. And you just killed that woman and passed out. Good for you.
En route to repair. En route to pick up the asset.
I'll actually wait for it to go catch that other Troodon, because by that time the T-Rex should be close enough to the field. Because I've noticed that if you drop them in there and drop another one and they don't have enough time for their comfort to raise high enough to be, well, high enough they won't break out again immediately. I have this freaking problem with the freaking Stegosaurs, because those things are temperamental as shit. Where are we at?
Chers visiteurs,
Speaking of, where is a dinosaur threat? There's a dinosaur threat. This is one thing I want to know is how do the dinosaurs know how to kill humans? That's what I want to know is how. And wow, that's like 5 missed shots there, guys. Good job. What did I train you for? Oh, that one. Okay, that's a good hit right there. That's a good hit. Good thud. All right.
Heading to pick up the asset. Asset collection request received. Heading to collect.
All right. Everything's contained. Everything's good. We're good? We're good. Welcome in, Rexy. What? Again? Oh. Shit.
Assets in the air.
Yeah, at this point I've been playing for so long, a lot of my dinosaurs are dying of old age, because that's not a good idea. That's not good.
Asset transportation underway.
Oh god, and all you people were just hiding over there. What the hell is wrong with you? Let's go watch the thing that killed all our friends. The Rex is going, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, speaking of which, while we're looking at that, I want to see what our power usage, attraction and cost, and our guest injury lawsuits. Fun times. Alright, so that's it for Jurassic World. I'm going to do a return to Jurassic Park tomorrow, starting probably early, because I really want to play the game, and I really want to cause some mayhem, and I want to do it all with the new stuff. I'm so excited. Anyways, I will see you guys then. If you guys want to watch, you guys want to join me, go right ahead. I will see you guys tomorrow for it, so let's just get this saved, and we'll call it good. Stream 1, saved, and saved. Alright. Until then, guys.